Shalom, everyone. In this video, I'm going to briefly explain what is HaQabbalah for those who are very new to this subject. Now, I go on YouTube, every now and then, and I have noticed that there are many videos entitled "What is HaQabbalah?" and really, these videos are really a bunch of uninitiated, profane individuals who are not initiated into the holy mysteries, not one iota. Covering subject matter that is well beyond their ken. And then there are the also uninitiated Jews that do these videos, and they too are not fully initiated and don't fully understand the Kabbalah. And so all in all, it's just really, really sad that there's these videos that exist that don't correctly and properly answer this question. So I felt compelled and forced to make such a similar video, but a video that is going to properly and fully explain what the HaQabbalah truly is from an actual ancient grandmaster Kabbalist, which is me, right, the chief magician of Mystery Babylon. So what is HaQabbalah? Well, the first thing to understand is that the word HaQabbalah comes from the Hebrew word Kabbalah, which means reception in terms of our tradition, which has been a tradition that has been passed down and received generation from generation. Now, in Hebrew, when the word Kabbalah is used in the context that we're using it now, it usually is a reference to our entire tradition, okay, which has been received, which would include both the exoteric and esoteric tradition, okay? So the first thing to understand then is that there is a binary aspect to HaQabbalah vis-a-vis the exoteric and esoteric aspect of it, okay? Now, the exoteric aspect of HaQabbalah would be an obvious reference to the Bible, the Talmudim, and the Midrashim, right? These are exoteric, available for anyone. The esoteric Kabbalah would be a reference to the holy mysteries, which is known as the secret wisdom of the kingdom of Ha-Elohim and the universe, etc., right? This is secret, holy, divine knowledge and wisdom, okay? And we Jews, right, we're entrusted with this entire tradition, okay? Which has an exoteric and esoteric aspect to it, okay? And it is but a small handful of Jews that have received and been initiated into the esoteric aspect of HaQabbalah. Now, in this last generation, when the word HaQabbalah is used amongst the Goyim, 9 out of 10 times it's in reference to the esoteric tradition, okay? And the esoteric knowledge and wisdom that we Jews have always maintained and safeguarded. Okay, so now that we understand that, now we also need to understand that in regards to the esoteric Kabbalah, there are also 2 aspects to that as well. There is what I would call the holy aspect, which I like to call the white Kabbalah, which deals exclusively with the holy domain. In other words, the white Kabbalah is principally concerned with the kingdom of Ha-Elohim. That is the esoteric holy mysteries of the kingdom of Ha-Elohim. But there is also what is called the black, there's also what I like to call the black Kabbalah, which is concerned with the Luciferian mysteries, which I will get to here shortly, okay? So the white Kabbalah is referenced in Sefer Mattiyahu in chapter 13, verse 11, by the most initiated Kabbalist, which is HaMashiach. In this case, Mashiach ben Yosef was Yeshua ben Yosef. He basically states here, because it is given unto ye to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given, speaking to his disciples, okay? It needs to be understood is that Yeshua, right, was a highly initiated Kabbalist, okay? He was very special in that he was fully initiated into the esoteric tradition, okay, and mystery school of Israel. In other words, he was fully initiated and endowed with all of the esoteric knowledge and wisdom of the kingdom of Elohim. He is Mashiach, of course. He is the son of Elohim, after all. Okay? So he, as a divine initiator, initiated his disciples, but he didn't do so for everyone, right? It's a secret society, okay? The esoteric aspect of the theosophy of Israel and Abraham operates as a secret society, and Yeshua was the head of that secret society in his generation, okay? There were a few other heads as well, okay, that were under him, and they initiated a very select few chosen men of Israel who were deemed to be the most worthy to be endowed and initiated and safeguard these holy mysteries, okay? This is what Yeshua is referring to. I always ask very ignorant Christians, what are these holy mysteries that Yeshua is talking about in this verse? What are they? Do you know? Speak, rise if you know what they are. Of course, they don't know. Okay, and every now and then I'll encounter a very stupid Christian who thinks he knows what they are and will totally butcher this verse and the understanding of this verse. Okay, it's rare, but it has happened to me at least on two occasions. Okay, but the vast majority of Christians have no idea what these holy mysteries are because they were not recorded. They were not put into writing. This tradition is, for thousands of years, this tradition was oral. It was not a written tradition. Okay, and so they were not committed to writing. Okay. And even if they could be, they were not committed into writing because the New Testament says that not everything that Yeshua taught and stated was put into writing because it would fill too many books. Okay, that's how knowledgeable and how wise Yeshua HaMashiach was. Okay, so again, Christians have no idea what these holy mysteries are. They're completely clueless and completely ignorant because this holy knowledge and wisdom was not given to them, was not entrusted to the Christians. Okay. Then we also have other verses that allude to this, as we find in our ancient divine oracles, specifically in Sefer Yeshayahu in chapter 48, verse 6. It states, I caused thee to hear new things from thou concealed matters, and you did not know them. Again, this is an exclusive reference to the holy mysteries. We also read in Sefer Yirmiyahu in chapter 33, verse 3, Adonai states, call to me, and I will answer you and tell you great and wondrous things you do not know. Again, I ask the ignorant Christians, what are these great and wondrous things that he has spoken and taught to a very select few group of Israelites like myself and my predecessors? What are these things? They don't know. They have no idea. They're completely clueless and ignorant. Okay. This is why Shaul, who was a grand master Kabbalist, states in 1 Corinthians in chapter 8, verse 2, speaking on gnosis, divine holy gnosis, this is what he states. If anyone thinks he knows anything, he does not yet know it as he ought to know it. Again, speaking on the holy mysteries. Because what we had back then, as we have now, is we have a lot of Christians, a lot of Ephraimites, okay, that sit on high horses thinking that they know everything, thinking they have arrived spiritually and with respect to gnosis, and they haven't. You have these Christians that have been taught in seminaries, that are pastors, call themselves apostles, think they're very great because of all the work they've done of Elohim, think they have this great knowledge of the scriptures, and they don't. They don't even know Hebrew. The first prerequisite to be initiated into the holy mysteries is you need to be fluent in the ancient Hebrew language. Okay, that's a fact, and they don't. They don't know Hebrew, and they have never been initiated into the holy mysteries. Okay, so they don't know. They're ignorant. Okay, this is why Shaul has to say this. He has to admonish and warn any foolish Christian or Ephraimite that might think he knows everything. Okay, because he doesn't. Like he says, what then is the superiority of the Jew? In Romans chapter 3, verse 1, he states, what then is the superiority of the Jew? Indeed, much in every way, because the oracles were entrusted to us. Not just the oracles, but the entire knowledge and wisdom, both exoteric and esoteric, was entrusted and given to us Jews. Okay? Not the Christians. Okay? So what is some of the subject matter that concerns the White Kabbalah? Well, that would include the full knowledge and wisdom of the Godhead. As an example, many Christians were only partially initiated. As an example, with respect to their knowledge of the Godhead, they think that it is a Trinity, that there is a trilateral aspect to the Godhead. Well, in fact, when you become initiated, the first thing you will learn is that the Godhead is yes, that there is a trilateral aspect to the Godhead, but it is not restricted to the number 3, but actually extends to the number 10, meaning that it is a decad. Okay. So that's one example, all right? It deals with secret subjects like reincarnation and secrets about the afterlife, okay? It deals with the secret names of angels and other powerful Elohim. It deals with the ancient, voracious secret science and art of astrology. It deals with the secrets of creation and the universe and the hidden supernatural and divine processes behind the universe, okay? There's many other subjects that I have not included here, but these are just some of the core subjects that are a part of the White Kabbalah and that are taught in the White Kabbalah. Okay, so that's what needs to be understood. Okay, it's not witchcraft. Okay, it's not anything like that. Okay, we're dealing with the holy White Kabbalah. Okay, this is all kosher here. Okay, now we're going to move on to talk about an important component about the holy mysteries or the Kabbalah, because it should be understood that they are synonymous. The holy mysteries is synonymous with HaQabbalah. They're one and the same. Okay, and I think most Jews just don't understand this, which is very sad. Okay, you need to understand that the scriptures are encrypted and ciphered. They are a divine code. The holy word can be thought of essentially as a collection of parables. Okay, this is the reason that the word which came in the flesh, vis-a-vis HaMashiach, spoke in code and parables. Okay, here's the word in flesh, HaMashiach, speaking in parables. That was his method of operation. Why? Because the word, which he is in the flesh, is a divine code. It's encrypted. It's a collection of parables. Okay, so based on this, the true understanding is that Christians have a very junior high understanding of the Hebrew scriptures at best. If we can, form a parable here, and we can compare initiation, to academia, we can then say that Christians are like those who are in junior high. Okay, their understanding of the Hebrew scriptures is like at a junior high level. Okay. And we may say that Jews have a college level understanding of the word at best because they're fluent in ancient Hebrew. They've read the Midrashim, the sages, and all the extensive literature that we have produced that was given to us by the ancient masters. Okay, so on an average basis, the Jew is going to be way more advanced and way more initiated than the Christian. Okay, HaQabbalah, then, we may state, is at the PhD level. Okay. And this is why most Christians never really enter the Kabbalah, because they're still in junior high, and there are prerequisites. If you want to be at the PhD level, there are prerequisites. You have to go through high school and go through college. And Christians never really pass through high school and never really pass through college to get and be able to operate at that PhD level. If a Christian tries, if somebody who's in junior high walks into a PhD level class, everything's going to go over their head, right? It's the same thing. This is why there's not a natural affinity between the average Christian and HaQabbalah, because HaQabbalah is way more advanced and way past the average Christian. This is just a fact, okay? As an inconvenient of a truth as it may be or sound. So now this leads me now to discuss the last aspect of HaQabbalah, which is what I like to call the black aspect, which deals with the Luciferian mysteries, okay? Subjects that would be included within the black Kabbalah would be subjects like demonology, the knowledge of how to invoke demons and fallen Elohim, the secrets and mysteries of the Luciferian kingdom, and many subjects related to these subject matters, okay? The black Kabbalah is principally concerned with the knowledge and wisdom concerned with the kingdom of Lucifer, okay? Now, we may say that there are two aspects to the black Kabbalah. There is a theoretical aspect and a practical aspect, right? The theoretical aspect is understanding and gaining a knowledge of the Luciferian mysteries, meaning you know that ancient saying, know thy enemy. There's nothing wrong with getting to know your enemy. We are encouraged to know our enemies, to be able to battle and defeat our enemies. In this case, our principal enemy being Lucifer or Hasatan. So acquiring a theoretical knowledge of the Luciferian mysteries, there's nothing wrong with that. That's actually encouraged, okay? The problem is when we're dealing with the practical aspect of the black Kabbalah, right? Again, it's okay to, read and learn and gain the knowledge of how to invoke demons and fallen angels and perform black magic, right? The knowledge of that is one thing, but applying it is a whole nother thing, right? Applying the knowledge of the black Kabbalah vis-a-vis, performing black magic and ceremonial black magic, that is strictly prohibited by the Torah, the divine law, okay? But I wouldn't say there's anything wrong with learning how to do these things or how they are done, right? I wouldn't say it's profitable to learn those things. I wouldn't encourage anyone to learn those things, but there are certain chosen men that may want to learn those things, and there would be nothing wrong with them. The problem comes into play when you begin to apply this forbidden knowledge, right? That is, you start performing black magic and powerful black, ceremonial, magic and things of that sort. Okay, you start invoking demons and fallen angels, right? And so we Jews have also been given this knowledge, right? Much of this knowledge came to us from King Shlomo, who was the most initiated and powerful black magician that has ever walked the earth. Okay, and so again, we Jews, we have all of this knowledge and wisdom. It was given to us. We've always possessed it. Okay, it's in our secret books, in our secret libraries. Okay, and the Luciferians and the Satanists, many of them from the Goyim, have known this, And that is why they have created a huge interest, okay, especially during the Enlightenment period and the Middle Ages and the Renaissance period, to study the Kabbalah. And they studied much of the white Kabbalah, although they were not too primarily interested in it. Their biggest interest was in the black Kabbalah, okay? And this is where, you know, the Luciferians and the Satanists that run the world and things of that sort come into play, okay? And this is why the Kabbalah has gotten a bad rap among many ignorant Christians who don't know any better, okay? They are always associating the word Kabbalah with the black aspect, okay? Not that there's anything wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with having a knowledge of the Luciferian mysteries, okay? But when you start applying certain aspects of the Luciferian mysteries, that's when you run into trouble, okay? And again, the Christians, this entire full understanding that I have given in this video, it's not understood by the vast majority of Christianity and Christians. And so then they err in totally rejecting and relegating HaQabbalah to their own detriment. And this was the plan from the beginning by HaSatan. He is the entity that is behind and responsible for the corruption of the understanding of HaQabbalah for the purposes of ensuring that Christians do not reach higher levels of spirituality and wisdom and knowledge by becoming initiated into the holy mysteries. And then we wonder why there is no power in the Christian churches. So I hope you have learned a lot through this video, especially if you are a late Christian or Ephraimite watching this video. Shalom.